Hey guys, how you doing? It's me. Hey look, I actually put on more paint today. Oh, in case you're wondering, I dropped you. Very sorry. Very sorry. Uh, that's a tattoo. It's my water dragon. Got Jack and Dad and my cat Stitch. And yeah, I'll show you the rest when we get to know each other a little bit better. So, okay. So it's been a couple of days since we found out who shot and killed uh, Charlie Kirk, and the right is desperately wanting the reason that this young man shot him was because he had a trans lover. Well, but he's not talking, so we really don't know. And yeah, there's the messages that were left and things like that. And I guess a lot of people are, are they true or are they not true? I watched a good debate between Luke Beasley and Tim Miller from The Bulwark, and their consensus is that they're real. And as for 22-year-olds writing like that, I've been writing poetry since I was like 11, 12. I've always written like that. Ask my kids, I send them poetry all the time. And I'm not bad at it. So, and she, who has read a million books, so my vocabulary is, move you closer. My vocabulary is a little bit different than most. And my kids also have a vast vocabulary because I did not ever let anybody to baby talk to them, because God, that drove me nuts. And I wanted them to be intelligent people, which they are. My bear had to leave today. He went down. I was supposed to go with him. My ex's dad died, and well, I didn't really get along with his parents that much. I certainly didn't wish this on them, and Donnie's in bumfucked Oklahoma. He was supposed to be home last Friday, but he had to stay another week. So, I feel bad. I'm not going to be down there for my kids, but not bringing Rosie to my ex's family thing. So, but okay, so that's the fun gossip going on in my life. Let's get to the news. So Charlie Kirk, and I do believe I said it. I hope I said it. I'm pretty sure I did. Celebrating anybody's death, anybody's, bad juju. You don't. I mean, it's just, it's not classy. It shouldn't be done. I think I've made this argument before. Celebrating people's death, that's bad. That shows your callous side, and your disregard for life. However, be just this one person or a whole bunch of people. But if you can, and it was the same way, and I think I said this before too, when Bin Laden was killed and everybody was celebrating, and my husband and I were telling our children, yeah, he was a very bad man. He did bad things, and yeah, he deserved, you know, to get caught. Um, kind of had hope for trial in jail, but he was just killed. But um, you know, it was because all the horrible things he did, and celebrating his death, um, being grateful that he couldn't hurt any more people. That's cool. Out there celebrating his death. That's kind of, you know, I mean, I'm not even sure the right word. Lame, callous. Uh, you know, take your pick. Um, oh, BT Dubs, Stephen Miller. Fucking get a thesaurus and learn how to pronunciate the words before you try to do it on TV. I watched your last little bald-headed froggy rant, and you mispronounced or misconstrued at least 20 different words. It's very funny for those of us that sit there and go, God, you're a moron. So, but they're encouraging people to dox other people, to get them to trouble, to get them fired, get them, you know, whatever, target them because they celebrated Charlie Kirk's death. And insofar as I know, other than just a handful of people, there has been nobody celebrating his death. Now, the flag's half-mast? No. No, I'm sorry, but no. He wasn't a political servant in any way, shape, or form. He was never in political office. He never did anything but spread hate and bigotry and misogyny. That was his entire brand. And so the idea of half-staffing plagues for that little fucker, I mean, that's pretty sick. That's just wrong. You know, I'm sorry he's dead. I'm aware he's got a wife and two beautiful little babies that she's going to have to raise herself. But A, she's lucky she's got some money, but B, I mean, maybe she won't raise her kids in his footsteps. Wouldn't that be cool? Maybe she'll change her stripes and not spend the rest of her life as the bigot's widow. I do feel bad for her. I truly do. You know, losing anybody's hard. Losing your husband, I couldn't imagine. Lady used to live next door. She lost her husband. He had cancer, and he went within a year. It was stunning. But before he left, he did everything. He placed everything. He made good money. But that house was perfect. Well, she just sold it a few months ago, and he died about 5-6 years ago. And she wrecked the house. I was so surprised because she used to be neat as a pin, and that house was beautiful. But my house was wrecked. I spent years and years fighting my ex and his fucking nasty ass blue twat waffle wife, Satan, just even trying to see my kids. They made my life hell for years. Bankrupted us and everything. And but the cool thing in the end, she was jealous. My ex, he'd fuck anything with a pulse. And I'd stay on base. I'd be on base, and because he went to all the temporary duty TUIs, and his buddies would come back and tell me about all these little fat chicks he was doing, and as they're trying to get into my pants, and I'm like, oh no, please. But you know, by that point, though, I mean, I always knew. Um, but I was planning on divorcing him and staying in Japan. I had a job lined up uh, with the Officers Club. They were going to make me a GS, which is the equivalent, you know, to a military. It's a civilian, but you're military, and I would have been somewhere around lieutenant captain, kind of, and I would have had my own my own housing. The kids would be going, you know, and all that stuff. But then I met Donnie. But then I met Donnie, and you know, and my children, we talk about it sometimes. And my son, you know, even just yesterday, kind of talking about it, and he says, "Yes, but we got Donnie. We got a Donnie. That's way better." And truthfully, because my ex was always a douche to the boys, so Donnie, that's his boy, man. And he's so proud of his boy and goes shooting with his boy and other stuff, and so it's pretty cool. You know, I'm just sad I can't be there with him. But, and not all of his family was horrible. There's some cool people in his family. His brother was cool. You know, his aunt, one of his uncles, you know, some of their friends, I mean, they weren't all. But, anyways, I wasn't going to bring my kid down to that, so it's just me and Rosie at home. And, so, watching, are they really, really going to come after people who celebrated or said, either coming after people who say the wrong thing? Isn't that cancel culture? And isn't that what they rail about? And free speech? So everybody gets, you're the only one that gets free speech. We don't get free speech. You just do. Just, you know, Democrats, Democrats, independents, whatever. We are, they are trying to make us less than. When the statistics are clear that the right wing does way more violence than the left, way more violence than the left. The Muslims do more violence in the States than the left does. There are leftists that are fucking nutballs and they'll do stupid shit, and I don't condone that. I don't condone it from any side. I don't think there's no fucking reason. We're supposed to be civilized. We're supposed to be, you know, and running around killing people? Come on. You know, threatening people. Trump at the fucking Chopper Talk yesterday, threatening a British guy or a Australian. I'm gonna tell that you were so mean to me, and then going off on another reporter, I think it was from ABC or whatever, and going, you know, because he was asking, well, what kind of hate speech? Well, people like you. Your company already paid me $16 million. Maybe I'll just sue you. Maybe I'll just, you know, the worst thing that fucking ABC or CBS or all of them did was capitulate. You capitulated. You see, and you didn't have to. Okay? You didn't have to. Trump is losing support by the day. He's bleeding support. Because, you know, hardcore MAGA, yeah, they're with him till the end. But people who are not hardcore mega or QAnon nutballs or, you know, but even some of his really hardcore people. And it's all 'cause of Epstein. And them claiming that 20-something years ago somebody forged that in his book to Jeffrey Epstein is just fucking laughable, isn't it? That's so funny. I mean, all those stupid things, you know. Hey man, Bill and Ted did it for me. You know, and oh my God, the fucking White House. I mean, Louis the 14th would blush and call that room gauche. I mean, it's just, he's turning the White House into some strange fucking gold-looking bordello thing. It's just really, all he's missing is all the red heaped carpets everywhere, heaped pillows. Ew. I mean, how much is this costing us to make the White House look, you know, I mean, oh my God, it's just, and he's going after history. He's trying to erase, he demanded that famous picture that was up in one of the parks, actually. It's a famous picture of a man who had been whipped many, many times. And he was showing his scars. He was photographed. I'm sorry, I forgot his name. I'm terrible with names. But he was an older man, and this was, of course, after emancipation. But this man's photograph is history. What happened to the black people in America is history, and it's history that we can't fucking ignore. You know, and that doesn't mean that they're blaming you specifically right here, right now. I mean, that would be absurd. You know, my family is only 3-4 generations into America, but you know, but that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. What happened was a long time ago, okay? But the thing is that the Americans don't like, oh, gee, sorry, I got, like, cat fur. The one time I tried to wear lipstick. But, you know, the South don't want that taught. Because it's not hate white people, it's hate bigotry, it's hate, the kind of people who would do that stuff. You know, the pictures, I'm so sorry, pictures of lynchings and little girls getting their pictures taken under the body, or, Reese Waters has a great, no, it wasn't Reese Waters, it was another fellow, I forgot his name, but, talking about some of the different stories, I mean, and they burnt, they didn't just lynch them and hang them from trees, they fucking burnt them at the stake. In the 1920s, they were, I mean, burning people at the stake for being black. And, you know, and what about the Holocaust? What about all that history and the way that we treated the American Japanese people during World War II? You know, McCarthyism, Jim Crow. It's not in that distant future. It's not been that long. And it's very, very important for children to learn about it. You better believe my kids know. You know, and I don't believe in pampering or toning down or any of those things when I teach my kids history. I give them the full facts. Actually, over the anniversary of 9/11, my daughter Rosie, my youngest, we went through and studied the history of 9/11. Nat Geo's got a great, has a really great program. It's like 4 episodes, but we only got through the first one. And even for me, I mean, it's still to this day hard to watch that. And I mean, and the worst part, you know, camera inside with the firemen, and I mean, you just hear bodies dropping, you know. So, you know, we're concentrating now. We're talking about why these people felt they needed to fucking come over here and bomb us. And it's a little bit easier because, you know, and then you know, and then of course the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald and her learning Gordon Lightfoot's song. So they're still trying to say that the left, they're still trying to say that we're the violence one. We want violence. We're the ones fomenting it. We're the ones when every day Trump, you know, threatens somebody else, or, you know, or JD just dance smoky eye Vance. I mean, what a fucking joke. Or a hog's breath. You know, these people are so embarrassing. We've lost all of our soft power, and we're losing. I mean, nobody wants to deal with us. You know, why would they? The ugliest American in history is in office. If we are able to sweep the midterms, we might be able to get back to normalcy on the front of a lot of these issues, including, you know, getting square with NATO, getting square with all the other allies that we have, and bonds and treaties and so on and so forth. It won't be Trump doing the diplomacy, you know, but we will be able to use diplomacy and heal these rifts, because the whole thing, it's Donald Trump. It all boils down to that one man, and well, and his following, but and if they can blue wave him in next November, then, you know, we can stop the vast majority. You know, we lame duck him, and, you know, and then fix the other shit that he's screwed up. You know, but right now, what he's doing all the authoritarian moves, trying to, I mean, and, you know, and them talking about hate speech is fucking laughable, because that's all that comes out of their mouth is hate speech. I mean, oh, you're gonna stop hate speech? You're gonna stop talking? Cool. I like that. I mean, really. Seriously? Seriously? This is fucking stupid, man. Not to mention specifically covered under the First Amendment. So you can't shove your religion, your politics, you can't make me do that. I'm a free individual, and I have my own ideas and my own politics and my own religion. And you have no right to force yours upon me. It's in the Constitution, boys and girls. And, what she's doing, what they're doing, is the same thing as them going in and trying to take over these cities. They're trying to intimidate people, mostly black and brown people. They don't want people voting in the midterms. They want people scared. And, you gotta remember two things. Number one, Trump is a fucking idiot. And number two, most of the troops, I'm not talking, the ICE people, that's a different animal altogether. Okay? Those ICE fuckers that they've been bringing in, those guys are nuts and should probably be in jail. And I bet you a bunch of them are January 6th pardonees. That would suit them so well. It's the people they are hiring for ICE, they are the ones I see being brutal, the ones that I see being just unnecessarily, and, although, and I've seen instances with, the troops, but then watching them in the park picking up garbage and shit, and that's costing us about $1 million or more a day for the National Guard to be out there picking up garbage. And and it's straight up illegal to send any kind of troops into a state without the approval of the governor. And it also is illegal to use U.S. military on United States soil. That's what the National Guard is for. The National Guard is for helping with disasters and, and all that stuff. Same kind of like the Corps of our Army Engineers and things like that. That they're they're to help quell. That's what the National Guard is for. They protect the nation. The true military, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, they are meant to protect us from everything out there. And there's a lot of, the training is very, very different. Military members are taught how to kill. There's some cops, they know the laws and they know how to be cops, but for the vast majority of military personnel, I'm not going to say Air Force here. They fly the planes, but the rest of it, it's not. Although their police is one thing, but the rest of the military, other than the fighter pilots, yeah. But all the other groups, the Navy, the Army, and the Marines, it's degrading. Well, to the Air Force, it's degrading to all the services. It's patently illegal. It's if these guys end up invading, your space, man, cry out, shout the shit out of the ICE people, but try to talk to the actual military people. Most of them don't want to be there. Most of them don't. This is ridiculous. It's a waste of resources. It's a waste of their talent, and it's humiliating for them. But the other thing is, if you get out there and protest, and a lot of you planning on, I hope, I'm planning on it too. We got to keep it. We got to keep it civil. We got to keep it. We can't. I'm not saying we can't be angry, but we can't be violent. We cannot let them goad us into violence. We cannot be violent. We have to prove once again, but we have to prove that we are not the ones fomenting the violence, calling for the violence. It's the right. The numbers are on our side. The studies that they hastily took down are on our side. The left wing, there are some idiots in the left wing that do horrible things, and I deplore that as much as I hate the right wing shit. or any shooting, any woundings, I, I don't like violence. And, but, you know, religion has always been the one that causes the most death, more than all the plagues, more than all the wars. Religion has killed so many people. And you got to remember that the big three, Judaism, Muslim, and Christian, all use the Old Testament. Where they differ is Judaism stopped at the Old Testament. Muslims, they had Muhammad, and Christians got Jesus. But they all start out at the same place. So, and then between Lutherans and Protestant Catholics, and the Inquisition, and all of the vitriol with the Jews, and can anybody tell me why? They all three of those started in the same place. So doesn't that mean it's the same God? Your prophets just split off different ways, but Muhammad was a lot like Jesus and preached love. And the original Muslims, back in the day, they cherished science. They had some of the best medical knowledge of the time. Women were we weren't exactly equal, but kinda. You know, women were not just chattel and had a place in society and were seen and taught to read along with the other womanly arts. So, you know, Christianity has never advocated that. They want their women stupid because there's nothing Christianity hates more than a clever woman. They've proved that so many times. You know, and Judaism, they encourage debate, and I think that's cool. But women are not, you know, that's, you know, and it's their way, but it's, to me, a bit misogynistic, although I've met plenty of Reformed Jewish people, and they're just wonderful. And I've spoken to different rabbis, and, you know, and they try to explain the best they can, and they're always very, very nice to me. So, United States is trying to be taken over by the Christian extremists. The United States was on purpose made church and state separate for the reasons I just told you. The deaths, the stupidity. The church and state are different for a very good reason. You know, I am not a Christian, and I am not going to govern by a book that's 2,000 years old and has been rewritten how many times. Yes, there's important thing in those books, and yes, there are things that can be corroborated in history, including the life of Jesus, and many other things. But it's still, most of the stories are parables, not to be taken literally. And, you know, and it baffles me. I love history. And the historic figures of that era. I've always loved the Greek history, Roman, Egyptian, you know, the beginnings of the ancient world and enlightenment through the worlds. And the Dark Ages weren't as dark as we think, but the pattern of history over and over, and the pattern of power and taking of power in times of peace. These things you need to learn because they do the same things over and over. and what Trump's doing isn't. I mean, he's taking his cues. Well, the idiots who wrote 2025, but I'm sure they've taken their cues from Stalin, from Hitler, from Mussolini, and Kim Jong Un, and all the other dictators that they think are rock stars. And you know, in the amount of obscene money that they're fucking making is just any other president would have been impeached 20 times over. Okay, folks. So, yeah, just feeling, you know, a little angry, little miffed. But I am not, I'm not letting anybody tell me what I can and cannot say. I have the First Amendment protection, and besides the point, I didn't celebrate his death. I don't think any deaths should be celebrated. And I still wish my son hadn't shown me. I didn't know it was going to be a close-up picture, man, and that shit, fuck, nightmare fuel. And, I mean, it was horrible and horrifying, and nobody deserves to go out that way. You know, nobody deserves to go out that way. It's fucking horrible. But when Trump's up there ranting on TV, he conveniently forgets about the Minnesota Senate people who were, some were shot, some were murdered, or Paul Pelosi or anything. And not to mention the fact that every time something happens on the left, it's funny and they make fun, and we'll all never forget fucking having to see Junior's shit-stained tighty-whities with a hammer saying, "Oh my god, my Paul Pelosi costume." Fucking moron. Barely, it's almost like he's inbred, but, you know, Ivanka was, Ivana, the mom, she's really smart, but that dude's just, I mean, God, heaven, he's just stupid, you know. And just so you know, Junior did have a cocaine problem, and his dad kicked him out, and people like Cuomo and stuff took him in and let him live there and helped him and stuff, because, you know, he wasn't trained in anything. So all that golden history that they purport, take it with a big fat grain of salt. Anyways, you know, I'm hoping, you know, as more, you know, I mean, they're out there saying this stuff, and they don't even realize, I mean, they can't even see the irony as it's slapping them in the face. And, I mean, it's so pathetic, and it's funny, but it's also horrendous at the same time. I mean, they're out there fucking saying the same shit that we've been saying forever, but they're saying it about us. You know, and they fucking fired Jimmy Kimmel? Are you kidding me? You can't cancel comedy. Jimmy Kimmel, please go over the Midas until you get a new gig. You and Steven, man, you guys could rock the YouTube world, and it's bigger than corporate now, and bigger than corporate, bigger than regular TV. So, because, you know, that's another authoritarian move. Shut down the free press, comedians, things like that. But that free speech, that's a big one. And right now, yeah, sure, you got free speech, but only if you say what they want you to say. No, it doesn't work that way. And there's laws, and they're gonna fuck with their own laws because the laws that say that um, that baker dude doesn't have to bake a cake for a gay couple. Well, guy at Kinko's or whatever had one in wanted Charlie Kirk posters, and the guy refused to do it. I don't blame him. It's the same fucking thing. It's the same law and the same principle, and they want to crucify this guy, and they're forgetting about their own thing. And it's going to come and bite them in the ass because it can't be one-sided. It has to be both sides. And if so, either that law will be gotten rid of, or this guy's go. You know, either way, this guy, there's precedent, and this guy has a case, and I don't think for a minute that he's going to be. Yeah, I mean, their hypocrisy is just hilarious right now. It is really, really. It's scary as hell, of course, but it's also fucking funny. You know, I mean, it's just, there's no awareness whatsoever. And, you know, and I don't know if it's deliberate or not, but it's, I mean, it's funny and terrifying at the same time. You know, but it's just, I mean, did you hear yourself? Really, did you hear yourself? Oh my God. Yeah, that could have been one of us after one of Trump's disgusting stunts or any of the other ones. Oh, that Jon Stewart, lovely little clip he did. Go fuck yourself. Yeah. Sorry. That's the way I'm feeling. Go fuck yourselves, man. You know, you've been trying to, you've been doing this to death, and now I think we're at an impasse because you can't punish us and not hold yourself to the same account, not at this level. So we gotta get it. We need our messaging, and we need our marching orders, and we need to start now. We got a year. So, and you know, and I think on those agendas, gun laws should be a huge, huge part of it. So anti-gerrymandering, no fucking kings, you know, responsibility when you're in your offices, responsibility for not following the fucking law when you're in the office. There's a lot of things that we gotta do, a lot of loopholes we gotta close, and a lot of shit we gotta undo, and it's gonna take a while. But if we want to keep our democracy in our country, it's work we gotta do. So, yeah, whatever you can do. And I will too. I hope you guys are having a good day. And, you know, just remember, it will get better. It will. It will. I mean, and we've been through, and I hate to say, we have been, you know, the civil rights movements, women's rights, you know, McCarthyism, Jim Crow. I mean, there's been some fucking horrible shit that's gone on American soil that doesn't get taught enough. But, you know, so, you know, he can try to intimidate us, and you know, but they're just gonna piss more people off. So, man, don't lose hope. Don't lose your voice. Don't lose your power. But don't celebrate people's death, man. That's gross. You know, you can agree that he was an asshole in life, but, you know, leave his family alone, and you know, and just fucking let that shit go. Let them bitch about it. Let that be their monkey in their circus, and we ignore that shit because insofar as I know, all of the legitimate people on the left have condemned this violence and condemn all violence under all circumstances. So, just keep on doing. And, yeah, let's hope that some of this shit will calm down before something else will happen. Because it's just, there's this feeling that the right is going to try to retaliate in some way, because just the way, the way they're talking, the way they're, and cowards as they are, it'd be a long distance thing, but still, because they're still talking, and they're still trying to blame us, and they're trying to say that all of the violence comes from the left, and they're trying to say that, we're all radical and yada, yada, yada. Despite the studies, despite everything, they're still trying to blame us. And that means, to me, just, be careful, protect yourself, be aware of your surroundings. You never know when some redneck's gonna try to take it out on you. So, I drive a fancy car, but my car also has disabled veteran plates because of my husband. And, for the most, Donnie, I probably told you before, but Donnie, my husband, he was going down the road, and the speeding limit's 40. He was doing 60. Cop pulled him over, came over, introduced himself, shook Donnie's hand, and said, "Dude, you need to slow down, okay?" Donnie was like, "Okay." And he says, "You have a good day, be safe, sir." And off he went. Man, I would have got my license taken away or something. It's not fair. Although going, to and from Minnesota and Atlanta and stuff, I had cops kind of flash me to slow down rather than pull me over, so it's been cool. But remember, folks, United States of America, we have to learn how to get along again. And you don't have to love everybody. You don't even have to like everybody. But we do have to learn how to deal with each other. And the first thing that needs to be dealt with is the violence. It's getting us nowhere. It's never going to get us anywhere. And, big step, banning those fucking assault rifles. Clinton did it. Bush administration, and then I'm just kind of let it fade away. When Clinton did it, it was because black gangs were using those weapons. When the bill lapsed, it was because white rednecks wanted those weapons. Nobody needs those weapons outside the military. My husband, he doesn't even have one, and, well, actually, he had one that kind of looked like one, and I made him get rid of it. I don't like them, and I won't have them in my house. But besides, my husband's a gun snob. He's got really nice shotguns and pistols and stuff, so. But, without gun laws, it's just gonna keep on happening, and, and offense taken, take your thoughts in prayer and shove them up your ass. Those kids in fucking Minnesota were on their knees praying. Do something. Do something. And me especially. And thank God, nothing like that. But I don't want your thoughts and prayers. I'm not a Christian. So, what I want you to do is your job and do something about it and stop it. Every other country in the world has managed to have maybe one or two, or a lot of other countries are able to have none. It can be done, people. It can be done. Man, the Swiss, they have this big old drunk party. They bring the AKs out there and they're shooting and shit. And those people, they have a blast. But you know what? And you ask them and say, "Oh, we're not going to shoot people. That's stupid. We're not going to hurt people. We've been taught better than that. Gun laws work. So, it's the only way the killing's going to end. And let's hope that the right side is talking on its ass when it's talking about revenge. It's, you know, it's been a few days. I'd hope it calmed down a little bit more, but everybody watch back. Watch front too. That's where all the fun stuff is. I hope you have some peace, and please, please, please be safe. Subscribe if you like my rambly shit. Comment if you have anything to say. I'd love to hear from you. You know, and have a great day. Movie loves you. Later.